Suspended between the flesh and soul, we find the gentle spark of life.
These are the Frankenstein files. No, come on. Oh, stupid piece of... Yes, okay, I'm sorry, thank you, yes, okay. Let her warm up for a minute, let me warm up for a minute. God, it's cold in here. Oh, alright, let's try... Oh, god damn it, don't tell me it's stuck, come on. Ugh, stupid fucking... Let me out! Let me out of here! Forget it, this is pointless. It's not going anywhere.
Oh, come on, would you please turn that off? I don't want to waste any of my tape.
Sit back down.
Fine.
Explain now.
I don't exactly see what more you want me to explain, Christopher, or why you need to...
Oh, don't pull that bullshit with me. I know you're not that stupid, Victor. The rat. Tell me.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure he's fine in the container. There's air holes in the top, and the lid is pretty tight, so he's not gonna get out or anything unless...
Oh my god, are you... You can't be serious right now. Are you trying to mess with me? Is this some kind of joke to you?
No. Of course not. I take this incredibly serious. Christopher, do you have any idea the amount of work I've put into...
No, I don't have any idea, Victor, so tell me. What the hell is going on? I swear I will take the rat and the tape recordings and every last thing in that freaky little bedroom of yours to the police right now if you don't explain to me what the fuck is happening.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I said okay. As in, I will explain.
Oh, wonderful. Glad you decided it was worth it. Explain then. The rat that you brought back to life?
Well, I think contextually it really depends on how you want to define back to life. That rat, as it exists now, is really technically alive. It's more an amalgamation of other rats that were formerly alive, but given new life in a way. Have you ever heard of the ship of Theseus, Christopher?
Is it in any way relevant to how exactly you did that?
I guess not particularly.
Then could we come back to it another time, when there are less pressing issues?
Alright, fine. I've been working for some time, since about when I returned from winter break, on analyzing the general state of death, as we understand it. Not what happens when we die, not spiritually, but physically. How the body itself dies from a purely chemical and biological standpoint. It began with examining alchemical texts from the early Enlightenment, but...
I'm sorry, did you say alchemy?
Do you want me to explain or not?
Fine. Continue.
Thank you. Since then, over the last 4 months, I've been developing and testing chemical formulas which, at a base level, prevent the cellular damage which would normally set in after death. These damages and the inability to continue functioning and healing are what prevents resuscitation. And now, I have successfully tested the necessary means of biological stimulation that to reintroduce life to the preserved tissue after death.
By testing this formula on rats.
Yes, on rats.
You sound insane. You know that, right? This is mad.
But it's not. From a certain perspective, detached from the progress of the experiments themselves, I can see why you would think that. But this is real, Christopher. You saw it. You've seen the test specimen. It works. Do you understand how groundbreaking this is?
You're serious about this? Like, genuinely, actually serious. This isn't some twisted, fucked up little joke. You really found out how to bring something back to life.
Well, how to give something life, technically based on pre-existing.
In our dorm room. You're a college freshman. I've been 10 feet away from the greatest scientific discovery of all time this whole semester. I thought I was lagging in my education because I was scraping by with the C+, and you're out here creating... You're not even pre-med!
I really don't see what that has to do with this.
I've been struggling to get my papers proofread, and you're just out here creating life. Step aside, God. Victor Frankenstein figured it out. We've got a real modern Prometheus on our hands. You know, maybe if necromancer was an option, I wouldn't be gunning so hard to be a surgeon. I'll have to look into the career pathways.
I don't think that you're handling this particularly well, given your insistence to hear about it.
Oh, I'm not handling this well, says the psycho, bringing creatures to life on his plywood desk. You couldn't do this any more scientifically, academically. This is huge, Victor. Impossibly so. Do you understand that? This is going to change the world. You didn't want to take something like this to one of the professors or a medical journal or...
And say what to them, Christopher? That I used alchemy in my dorm room to figure out the secret of life? That I stole thousands of dollars worth of scientific equipment to run tests proving my point? You said it yourself. I would sound crazy to anyone who listened. The best case scenario, they assume I'm using drugs, and I put my entire academic career at risk.
As opposed to risking criminal charges for stealing everything.
It seemed logical, mostly at the time. And besides, I already tried. I did. I took my workings and theories to Professor Kremp to see what I could do next, and he wouldn't hear a word of it. I even tried prompting the subject with Dr. West, and he said it wasn't worth looking into. Nobody wanted to hear about this, Christopher. Nobody believes it's possible. It is. I've figured it out. And once I have conclusive results, once I can prove the chemical formulas I've composed are legitimate, everything else won't matter anymore. Nobody cares how the sausage gets made. Or at least they won't when I have the results.
But this is results, isn't it? You did the impossible in there, Victor. A few weeks ago, that rat was in our freezer. No, the pieces of that rat were in our freezer. And now it is alive and squeaking and scratching on the sides of a lasagna dish trying to get out. That is results.
I don't know, really. Yes? Sort of, I think. It worked. It definitely worked on On rats, at least. I don't know if...
Victor?
I'm just saying, I haven't. It's not something I've tested necessarily on a larger scale, but I would think it would be applicable if I were to...
Victor, look me in the eyes right now. Could you do that to a human? Bring a person back?
No, not now. I couldn't do that. It's not how it works in that way. Not without further testing. I couldn't just bring someone back to life, Christopher. That's... I couldn't do that. But I think I could make a human.
What?
In the same way as the rat. I mean, I could create one. A single dead body with all of its individual parts and systems is too volatile. I mean, there are too many pieces, too many variables that need to be tailored perfectly, but if, like the rat, I could compose a human body with all the right compatible pieces, bit by bit, I could give it life. Like a control subject. Not a person exactly, but an approximation of a person. Baseline of what a human would be and how it would react. Nobody is perfect. No single corpse could act as that baseline, but if I constructed a perfect specimen of the species from the ground up and successfully tested the formula on it, from there, I could work my way back towards actually bringing someone back, solving death one piece at a time.
You really believe you could do that? Create a human being like that? Or an approximation of one?
If you don't hand over my research to the police, then yes, I think I could.
God, I don't even know where I would start to try and explain this to the police. Okay, alright, I need to think about this for a moment. How do I know you're not lying to me? That this isn't all fake to cover your tracks on whatever this is?
I don't know. I don't know what it would take for you to believe me if you don't already.
I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just saying this is a lot to believe. You know that, right? It's impressive, but so is a magic trick if you don't know how it's done.
Then I could show you how it's done.
Sorry?
I could show you process. All of the steps as I create it. Piece it together. I can show you that it works. You just help me out here, Christopher. You don't expose this before it's ready.
You know, if this does turn out to be... If you are lying, I'll hand all of it over. Everything.
I understand that. But I'm not lying, Christopher. I just need you to believe me.
Okay. Alright. I trust you.
You... you do?
Tentatively. And only if I am helping. Every step of the way I am involved, so I know that you're not doing something behind my back.
That's... okay, fine, yes. If you say so. I can't act like surgical precision, and training wouldn't be useful in such an undertaking.
I never forgive myself if I let this level of scientific understanding pass me by.
I think we can both agree on that. Thank you, Christopher.
So, what do you need now to start?
On making a person? I don't know. I'd need to start with medical journals, researching this, and working my way up from diagrams and plans, and eventually parts. I'd need the pieces. The human body is insanely complex. I would need cadavers, access to them.
Like the ones in the medical labs. The ones donated for science.
Well, yes, ideally, but can't really get to those easily. I would need to...
But I can.
Sorry?
I have access to the morgue in the medical school building.
You... do... Yes, you would.
Oh, God, what am I agreeing to? Okay. Come on, Christopher, this is for science. Okay. We're in this together now. We're both involved in whatever the hell this is. So, show me everything. The whole process. Working together. Deal?
Yes. Yes, of course. That's the deal. Is that enough for you? As an explanation?
Yes, I thought we just...
Can I have my tape recorder back? Please, it was a gift.
Oh, shit, sure. Yes, I'm done. I'm done.
I mean, it looks like there's enough gas in the car. The main issue is if I'm out on the road for too long, I don't have any kind of registration, and I mean, this is not going to be an easy situation to explain to the police, and I mean, the last thing I need right now is to get tangled up in something completely unrelated to all of this, and right, sorry, the tape is done. I'm just distracted. I'll be honest, part of me was hoping Christopher would turn Victor into the police, or the university, or just put a stop to everything, but, well, that wasn't going to happen. I knew that. I feel like Christopher knew that, too. And it's better that Christopher was on board with the whole raising the dead thing instead of Victor needing to do something drastic to keep him quiet. I want to sit here and be mad at Christopher for going along with this, for feeding into whatever delusions of grandeur Victor has going on, but I can't be. 'Cause I don't think I would be any different. I mean, hearing it was one thing, and that by itself was enough to upend everything I know about life, but seeing it in person, I would do the same. I would need to know how it was done, need to know more. I can't call it a delusion if the grandeur is real. If he really did that, and the fact that Christopher believes he did only means it was real. It did happen. He watched Victor bring the rat back to life, and what else do you do in that situation other than anything you can to know more about what's going on? Put aside the laws of mankind because the laws of reality have been broken, and that takes precedence. I mean, which I guess in the end is only proving Victor right. It's what he's been saying all along. That people won't care about the missing equipment or the rats as long as he gets results. Which is a dangerous thing for anyone to hear. Especially anyone dealing with this kind of discovery. God, this has to be the worst Christmas I've ever had, and that is saying something. I need to leave. I just need to leave. I was hoping I could leave tonight, if I could, but the weather only seems like it's getting worse. I'm hoping I can get everything prepared and maybe leave tomorrow if things clear up at all. My car isn't going to make it out of here until the spring. I tried driving it through some of the snowbanks, but they're just too solid to barge through. And I don't want to risk driving over them either. My car isn't built for that, and I don't need another death in the family to be blamed on freak ice accidents. The silver lining is that I have Percy's car. It still has most of a tank of gas, and I have the keys. It's not going to be an easy drive at all, and it's still stupidly dangerous, but less dangerous than waiting to rot in here. Besides, it's built for it better than my car. It's an old, chunky-looking SUV, probably 90s, even 80s model. I don't know enough about cars, honestly, but it's solid-looking, four-wheel drive, a reliable blue. It's a manual transmission, which is going to be an adjustment, especially in the snow, but it's better than nothing. Plus, there has to be snow chains here somewhere. I have some for my car, at the very least, in the trunk, which I can try and use if I can't find any in the garage, but I'd be shocked if there isn't a set, though. You don't own a car like that all the way out here on a property like this in this part of the country without some things in place to drive in some rough conditions. I wouldn't have expected him to own any of that, but here we are. I never really pictured Percy as the outdoorsy type. From the few times I did meet him, he was lanky and jumpy with these big, wide eyes that were constantly moving and floppy brown hair. He was like a greyhound with anxiety. He was just so willowy. Like, his blood was entirely cold brew. He was practically built for a small studio apartment in a big city with some aloof transient job as a freelance blogger or something. Like, he didn't need a car because, well, a strong breeze would carry him off to wherever he was going anyway. It's just weird picturing him out here alone, chopping firewood and clearing snow and driving four-wheel drive. When I was growing up at my uncle's house, I used to think he was so cool when he came to visit. He was only a year or two older than Maggie, but he was this cool older cousin who left home early to travel and go to college in New York, and he just seemed so free from everything. Which is the last thing that I feel right now. I wonder how much he felt like this these last couple of years. Huddled up in here like this, alone. Either way, I'm not letting that happen to me. I'm gonna start packing things up while I'm listening to the tapes. See if I can get everything in boxes to start loading it into the truck tomorrow morning. With luck, I'll be out of here sooner rather than later. Even if I didn't make it to Christmas dinner.
Apologies for the lack of updates on my experiments in recent weeks, but I'm hoping to resolve that gap in development with this recording. I've just had a lot on my mind these last few weeks, especially when it comes to moving forward with this particular line of experimentation and how we, I guess now, are going to move forward with it. Of course, the more pressing updates are regarding the previous tests, and I can commit to the record that the tests with the primary rodent specimen have proved overwhelmingly positive. He's still alive for one thing, aren't you, little guy? It has been exactly 22 days since his creation in the experiment, which was previously recorded on April 17th, and still now he shows no signs of physical decay or indeed any health complications. I've been monitoring his physical conditions thoroughly over the past few weeks, and as far as I can tell, he's just about the healthiest rat on the planet. Perhaps to a surprising degree in certain regards. The specimen retains hair growth at regular rates as indicated by his coats filling back in. And coats, plural, it seems. I was certainly less than concerned about coloration of the donor rats at the time, but it is certainly more visible now that it's grown back in. It has gained weight. However, upon reflection, I'm not entirely sure if that is a result of the experiment or if that is a result of Christopher overfeeding him. My roommate seems to consider it far more of a pet than a specimen. Let's put you back in your enclosure, And speaking of Christopher, it's been different having someone to actively discuss my theories and experiments with, as opposed to solely dictating them to the tapes. But it has been helpful having him around, and I do mean genuinely helpful. He was apprehensive upon agreeing to help me with these studies, which I suppose is understandable, but his insights from a surgical perspective when it comes to the potential construction of a human body have been invaluable already. It's nice having him around. Which is not something I ever thought I'd say, especially about Christopher, but I appreciate not doing this alone. Especially considering the next steps in the development of this broader scientific theory. The potential of testing these methods of imbuing a human body with life. If only because I'm not exactly the biggest person in the world, and moving around human bodies by myself is a little bit beyond me. If I would have even been able to find bodies to begin with, which is currently the primary hurdle of this experiment, I've been thinking, however, that I might have a way around that. I mean, there isn't a reason, as far as I can see, that we couldn't begin constructing artificial components mimicking the...
Clear the table. Get your equipment now. I don't know how long it's already been outside the coat lockers, and I need to get rid of everything I can in case anybody notices it's missing. I don't want all of this on me.
Oh, yeah, you did it. You actually got something from the morgue, you.
Yes, I did, which was not as easy as you make it sound, so if we could...
It's all set up. I was monitoring things, testing stabilization of the formula. This is good. This is great. Just calm down.
Oh, you're telling me to calm down? I'm sure you'd be so calm if you just ran halfway across campus with human remains in your backpack.
You didn't actually run, did you?
No, of course not. That would be even more suspicious than I already was.
Well, the point is not to be suspicious at all, Christopher.
Oh, you don't think I know that, genius? Thank you ever so much for that insight. I'm sure you learned it from all your years of experience stealing human body parts.
Okay, fine. I'm sorry, okay? This is new for both of us. Just... I can't have it come this far only for you to screw it up by being unsubtle.
Yeah, because it's me who's so obvious, considering your stunt last month with the power outage.
All right, that was not on the same level as...
Look, whatever. We don't have time to argue. Just... Here.
I just... All right, yes. What did you manage to find?
I got, well... this... an arm, or most of it. It was on one of the bodies being prepared for dissection into individual components for preservation. I don't think anybody will notice it's missing, but it's still a big piece, bigger than I can reasonably take again.
Fascinating. Can I see?
Without gloves on?
Right. Sorry, yes. Thank you. Yes, you don't seem rattled as much as before discussing all of this.
I'm a medical student, Victor. I've seen dead bodies. It's not... I wouldn't be studying to be a surgeon if I was put off by this sort of thing. The stealing part of it, however, that's harder to process.
Right, of course. Sorry, I don't know. You think of a cut off hand and you think of blood and gore and violence, not something so...
Clean?
Clean. How old is the body?
No more than a day or two, I think. No signs it was frozen at all. Seems to have gone straight to the lab. Kept at low temperatures for preservation. Male, Caucasian, 52 years old. Presumed cause of death was a heart attack. Is it usable for this kind of thing?
I don't know entirely. Kind of, I think maybe we can use it for testing, certainly. Core elements for the final project, the amount of formula needed for preserving human tissue, how long it would last, methods of interfacing with nerve endings, but I don't think I could use it as a piece of the subject. Not like I could with the rats.
Right, of course. Not like the rat. Victor, where do you think you're going to find enough fresh human tissue that you could do that, like with the rat?
I don't know. But we can cross that bridge when we get to it.
Really helpful. You spent, what, months working on a single rat? So we're looking at a couple of years for this?
Well, if that's what it takes. This is delicate work, Christopher. It's not exactly like anyone has done this before.
I know that, Victor, but what, are we going to just collect various decomposing body parts in the meantime? Stuff them in the fridge and under couch cushions?
I don't know. I'm working on it. But you're right. We need to find somewhere else to do this. Even if we had the space in the dorm, building doesn't exactly have the electrical power required to properly scale up the experiment with a rat to a human-sized subject. Not to mention moving things into and out of the building without getting caught.
Thank you for acknowledging that. I'm sorry, I'm just amped up. I have so much adrenaline after getting that out of the morgue. God, Is that what it felt like working on Fritz?
Excuse me?
The rat. Remember we had the whole conversation about naming him? Fritz?
Right. Yes. Of course, Fritz.
Did you at least feed him while I was gone?
He was fed this morning. He doesn't need to be... Whatever. That's not important. Yes, I fed him today.
No, you're right. That's not the most pressing thing right now. Sorry.
I'll start the chemical treatment. Just get cleaned up.
Yeah, definitely. I'll change clothes just in case anyone saw me on the way.
Probably smart. I'll wait to begin note-taking until you're here.
Great. Yes. Thank you. Good.
One step closer. Where do I put this while I clear the table? Shit. I need to pack this away. And I wanted so badly to say something. Like, I have more important things that I'm working on than this trivial Did you turn the tape recorder on?
I did, yes.
Christopher, everything is back in the apartment. We're not doing any experiments.
Oh, trust me, that is not why I'm recording.
Sorry?
I'm not an idiot, Victor. I'm not going to let my roommate, who I've been dissecting human bodies with for a month, drive me into the middle of fucking nowhere without some kind of protection and some way to record evidence for the police if you try to pull anything funny, alright? I have a knife, and now I'm recording, and I'm not turning this off.
I'm sorry, what? What are you... Did you... Do you think I'm going to murder you?
Well, I don't know. You're driving me to a remote secondary location with the promise of a surprise that you're saving until we get there. What was I supposed to think?
That I had a surprise of some kind. I mean, first of all, we are barely 15 minutes out of town. This is not remote. And second of all, I wouldn't. I'm not gonna kill you, Christopher.
Oh, excuse me for being concerned. We steal body parts, Victor, regularly.
From dead people.
Murdered people are dead people.
I'm trying to save lives, Christopher. I don't want to hurt anybody. I thought we were trusting each other. We're friends.
I also thought we were friends.
Well, friends don't murder each other in the woods.
I know that. I was just beginning to get scared that you didn't know that.
thought I was gonna murder you?
I feel like it's not an unreasonable assumption given what we're working on, Victor.
I'm wearing my nice, comfortable shirt. You know I like this shirt. Why would I wear this shirt to murder you? It'd ruin it. I'd never get the blood out.
Oh, so you have different clothes you're planning to murder me in.
I don't know. I wasn't planning to murder you ever. Hadn't exactly crossed my mind before.
All right, fine. I'm sorry. I jumped to conclusions there. So, where are you taking me then?
Well, now I don't know if I want to show you.
Seriously?
No, I'm just... Whatever, never mind. You were right the other day about not having the space in the dorm to continue with experiments, especially as we progress here. I mean, we're gathering viable internal organs and starting to plan things out. We need somewhere we can develop the technical and chemical infrastructure to test on the larger scale of the subject.
And somewhere we can assemble it. Anything larger than a small animal wouldn't be viable in the current space. I mean, your room is packed full as it is from Fritz alone.
Exactly. So we need somewhere else, and I found a place. Just up here.
A barn?
Yes, a barn. It's not exactly ideal for a laboratory environment, but it's clean enough and spacious. It even has a nearby power station with power lines that run right overhead and considerable potential for connection points. More importantly, it's relatively isolated. And I was able to rent it cheap.
How? What did you say to the owners?
That I'm a college student at Ingolstadt, and I need somewhere to store my belongings while I look for somewhere else to live, other than my dorm. That I'm using it as a storage unit. They live out of state, and we're planning to let the place fall down, so I think they're just excited to get some money out of it before then.
So it's yours.
Well, I suppose ours, if we're properly working on this together.
It's your project. I'm just peer reviewing it.
Right, of course. In that case, yes, it's mine. All it needs now is the right machines, the right lab equipment, and we can start. Properly set things in motion. Construct a new form of life.
This episode of The Frankenstein Files was written, directed, and edited by Connor Wasn't Here. It starred the vocal talents of Jamphibian as Beau Walton, the Beetle Bard as Victor Frankenstein, and Hoarding Puffin as Christopher Ingram. The theme song was composed and performed by the uninformed Zenial. The Frankenstein Files is a Wayward Bones production. Thank you all so much for sticking with us over this brief unplanned hiatus between episodes 8 and 9. Your support and continued interactions with the show mean the world, and we're incredibly excited to share the rest of Season 1 with you all over the coming months. I would also like to specifically thank the members of the Wayward Bones Patreon, who directly help support not only the Frankenstein Files, but also Cantripped, Jamphibian's actual play TTRPG podcast. Your support means so much to both Jamie and myself, and we appreciate it more than I can describe. Special thank you to Alana J, Anxious Human 206, Blueberry Puppy 1224, Bumbliest of Bees, Chewy Muffins, Duck Ren Duck, Disco, Eli the Engineer, Geist Polter, Haru, Hoarding Puffin, Jeffrey Bradley, Kylapon, Lumi, Luna, Lynx the Wolf, Magenta Laidler, Mars the Planet 27, Ray_473, Rain, Ray, Rose, and Centreats. If you'd like to also support the show and receive a shout-out along with bonus episodes, bloopers, and exclusive content for both the Frankenstein Files and Cantripped, you can find the Wayward Bones Patreon linked in the show notes, alongside our community Discord, where you can find episode transcripts, receive updates on episode releases, and interact with the show's community. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to like and comment, along with rating or reviewing the show, and following or subscribing on your preferred platform to hear future installments. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Wayward Bones Pods. And, of course, word of mouth is one of the best ways to help us grow, so be sure to let people know about us if you think they'd enjoy the podcast. Your support is the spark that keeps the show alive. Thank you for listening.